Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, has revealed that
Speaker of ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, has urged that
ECOWAS members of Parliament have adopted the report from the Joint Deal.
Honorable Tunis made this disclosure during a high-level virtual town hall meeting on parliamentary perspective to addressing drug control policy in Africa.
They say the task of a leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have been. And His Excellency, Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, has made immense strides in taking the ECOWAS Parliament to the people in 1 year. As someone with a very rich leadership background, both in business and politics, the attainment of ECOWAS speakership did not come as a surprise, because he had worked for it, and his endorsement by the President and people of Sierra Leone was just an icing of the cake.
Honorable members of the ECOWAS Parliament, I'm here to endorse the candidature of Honorable Sidi Tunis. I've known him for several years, and he served in several leadership positions in this country. Today, he's vying to be the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament. I endorse him as our candidate, as my candidate, and I'm appealing to all of us to support him. Please do so, and you will not regret it. His wealth of knowledge he will bring to the table to make ECOWAS Parliament a better institution than it is currently. Donc, je lance un appel à tous les membres pour qu'ils soutiennent sa candidature. Merci.
As a man with strong passion for growth and development in the region, even upon taking the mantle of speakership of ECOWAS, Honorable Tunis extolled his predecessors, vowing to match and even exceed their accomplishments. His first work started by creating the Public Accounts Committee at the ECOWAS Parliament.
There is more to do to increase accountability and transparency in ECOWAS. All monies spent must be scrutinized, and the ECOWAS institutions must be run as efficiently and effectively as possible. Transparency, openness, and accountability go hand in hand with progress and prosperity to build a stronger economy, a stronger society and security, and opportunity for all. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, against these fronts, I herewith propose the establishment of Public Accounts Committee, PAC, at the ECOWAS Parliament with a core mandate of reviewing audit reports submitted by the Commission aimed at creating greater transparency.
This move laid the basis for restoring financial integrity, accountability, and public confidence in ECOWAS institutions. In just 1 year, Honorable Tunis has not only fulfilled 80% of his promises made in his inaugural address through several meetings and sessions, like the first mission to Niger, where he presented a memorandum to the sitting chair of the Authority of Heads of States on the roadmap for the successful establishment of direct universal suffrage of ECOWAS MPs. Honorable Tunis, during that mission, also met with the President of Niger, Speaker of Niger's Parliament, and Foreign Affairs Minister of Niger. His Excellency the Speaker made his first visit to the seat of ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja, Nigeria in September 2020, where he met with staff and acquainted himself with happenings in the office. The Speaker, while in Abuja, also signed a Memorandum of Understanding on ICT and combating cybercrime in the region. Honorable Tunis, in October 2020, visited the Republic of Guinea during the opening of the first ordinary session of the National Assembly of Guinea, where he addressed the National Assembly. During the same visit made to Guinea, Honorable Tunis also met with President Alpha Condé and later the Independent Elections Commission of Guinea. The speaker made relevant contributions and reaffirmed ECOWAS's commitment in ensuring continuous support to a peaceful election. As an enthusiastic leader with the stimulus to see that the community succeeds, Honorable Tunis also led the Bureau of Parliament, where he convened the second Bureau meeting in October 2020 to consider and adopt the 2021 budget of Parliament in conformity with Article 25.3f subsection 1 of the Supplementary Act relating to the enhancement of the powers of Parliament by the Bureau to assume authority of Parliament in emergency situations. In that meeting, Honorable Tunis admonished participants to carefully consider the budget and ensure that it focuses on high-impact programs and projects that have long-lasting effects and priority needs of the ECOWAS member states, taking into account the COVID-19 and security challenges. Honorable Tunis officially opened the delocalized meeting of joint committees to review the African Continental Free Trade Area, where he emphasized the importance of free trade and the threats.
There are visible threats which stop progress and create stumbling blocks to investment that in turn affect commerce and employment. Among these are terrorism and insecurity, which increase uncertainty and raise the cost of goods and services. These have been highlighted by previous speakers. Terrorism slows the flow of goods and resources through ports due to greater inspections and safeguards.
While in Cotonou, His Excellency also paid a courtesy call to the Speaker of the National Assembly of Benin, where they held discussions on harnessing relationships between the ECOWAS Parliament and the National Assembly of Benin. The Speaker also attended another delocalized meeting in Guinea-Bissau to discuss ECOWAS food security, agricultural production, and the fight against COVID-19. He later met with the President of Guinea-Bissau, where hearty conversations on the development of ECOWAS emerged. It cannot be gainsaid that the Speaker, in his efforts to bring the ECOWAS Parliament closer to the people in 1 year, has been a landmark achievement for him, especially with several delocalized meetings held in different member states, with Lomé, Togo, and Lagos, Nigeria not left out. These meetings revealed the appreciation of the member states for the pace and tenacity of the Speaker to make ECOWAS Parliament an enviable institution, and the Speaker's reaffirmations of his commitment to achieving that is seen as a bar raised for members of the ECOWAS Parliament and the Commission to jump towards using ICT and innovation as springboard.
Permit me to caution that we are likely to face many challenges in implementing the commitments we have made at this meeting. However, Parliament is committed to working with member states in areas related to information and communications technology, science and innovation to digitally connect our societies together. The ECOWAS Parliament stands prepared to follow up on the recommendations emanating from these discussions, and we express our unwavering commitment to working with all stakeholders to make these resolutions a reality.
Being a Speaker of ECOWAS requires one be gender sensitive, and Honorable Tunis is just that person that is passionate in promoting gender equity.
The integration of gender perspective into our mainstream politics and conflict management is key to designing an inclusive and effective peace-building efforts of ECOWAS Parliament under our stewardship. We shall also endeavor to identify and remove obstacles to women participation in mainstream politics, peace-building and mediation activities in ECOWAS states.
He displayed that during the Kwara Conference on Gender Development held virtually, where he re-echoed commitments of ECOWAS Parliament to continue to encourage and support women's participation.
Member states to ensure at least 30% female representation in their parliamentary delegation. The truth is, I sincerely believe that the 30% is still very low, especially owing to the enormous contributions women are making in our states. It is therefore the prerogative of regional and multilateral institutions like ECOWAS to provide a space for women development and participation.
The COVID-19 pandemic has not changed the way the world looks, but has challenged the world to embrace innovations and ICT through the leadership of ECOWAS Parliament and his dynamic team. The ECOWAS Parliament is a benefactor of that opportunity to embrace change through the use of technology by holding several meetings online, including the IPU Conference on Agriculture and the first and second extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Parliament. For the Speaker of ECOWAS, there is more to be achieved before his term ends.
We have already established a Public Accounts Committee. There is a chairman from Benin, a very, very, very smart guy. And I've also engaged the president of the ECOWAS Commission to ensure that we comply with the Supplementary Act. And the response so far clearly shows that starting immediately, all audit reports from the ECOWAS Commission, including audit of all institutions, including the very parliament, the commission, WAHO, JIBA, the ECOWAS Community Court, will all now be laid in Parliament, in the ECOWAS Parliament, for a debate. I think that by itself is a big success story, and I believe that is going to help a lot with accountability and transparency in the ECOWAS system. You know, the other area that I have been looking at very, very seriously is that of direct elections of members into the ECOWAS Parliament. You know, since I entered ECOWAS Parliament, I realized that members were performing dual roles. They are serving their national parliaments, national assemblies, and at the same time servicing the ECOWAS Parliament. And in most cases, the ECOWAS Parliament is one that has been suffering. Because, take for example, when we have sessions during the budget season in the national parliaments, almost all the MPs will try to focus on their national parliaments and leaving the ECOWAS Parliament. That has created a lot of problems in the past, and it continues to create problems even now and going forward. As a result of that, I introduced the idea of members elected direct into the into the ECOWAS Parliament. In other words, if you are a member of ECOWAS Parliament, if you have been elected to serve as a member of ECOWAS Parliament, you will not serve as a member of your national parliament.
With commitment in ensuring peace and stability in the region, the Speaker led a parliamentary fact-finding mission to Bamako, Mali. The objective of the mission, among other things, was to assess the progress of the transitional process and support a smooth and peaceful transition to democratic rule. In that visit, the Speaker engaged the President of Transitional Government, Prime Minister, Speaker of the Transitional National Assembly, Minister for Malians Abroad and African Integration, and later engaged other stakeholders, including political party players and civil society organizations.
I just had a very, very fruitful meeting with the President of Mali, and I want to inform everybody, especially the Malian people, that it has been a very, very useful dialogue that borders on the people of Mali. We have discussed about the sufferings of the people of Mali and how we can work together to ensure that this impasse comes to an end in a very successful way. We cannot use our individual interests to jeopardize the interests of the general public. I am therefore appealing to all Malians all political stakeholders, civil society organizations to work with the transition government in the interest of the people of Mali.
Even members of the ECOWAS Parliament commend his leadership and see him as a role model.
About Tunis, since he took over the ECOWAS Parliament and I've gotten closer to him, got to know him better, he is proving to be a seasoned administrator. He's one that believes in consultation. And I say to myself most of the time, I describe him as the one who carries everyone along. He has his way of making sure everyone's involved, everyone's participation is fully acknowledged. And I think he's just, at the end of the day, in one word to sum it up, he's a seasoned administrator. Speaker Tunis has done a lot. We've been able to hold some delocalized meetings. We've been able to have visits with some head of states and government. We've been able to coordinate the activities of the parliament, even either virtually or through telephone communication or written memos. And I think he's done so much to transform the parliament and of course the image of the parliament within our region.
Comme je suis nouveau au niveau du Parlement de la CEDEAO, j'avoue que les informations que nous avons du nouveau président, il fait un travail excellent. Et puis il est ouvert, c'est un monsieur vraiment disponible. Et vraiment, j'avoue que nous sommes tous heureux du travail qu'il a là-bas. Nous voulons qu'il continue de faire ce travail pour le bonheur de la CEDEAO et toute sa composante.
For Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, leaving behind an ECOWAS parliament that is explicitly fulfilled and enviable is what he sets his mind on, so that at the end he feels satisfied, not because he wants to take credit for it, but because he did everything he has to do in bringing ECOWAS closer to the people.